In this episode of Golden Key Design, we're going to take the kitchen from this to this. Stay tuned to see how we did it. So here's what the kitchen looked like when I first bought the place. It obviously needs some renovating, but let's discuss what changes we're going to make this kitchen a lot better. So first, we're going to be moving the sink to this exterior wall where the oven currently is. Next, we're going to move the fridge to the left to be on the back of that wall. And lastly, we're going to push this wall out to be flush with the wall to the left and turn that into a closet. So now let's see what exactly that design might look like. To help me visualize the design, I created a 3D rendering of the space. And as you can see, I put a large island in the middle and got rid of that old peninsula. We moved the sink off to that exterior wall and put a dishwasher to the right of that. And then where the fridge used to be, I decided to put an oven and hood there and moved the fridge location to the left. I think the space flows very nicely now, and I also put in a little beverage center on the right there with a breakfast nook to fill in that space. And I'm really liking the way this turned out. So now, let's get to demo. We had to reframe this section of the wall to fit the 2-inch vent stack for the sink that will be going along this wall, so here I'm just removing all the old insulation and studs. And if you're enjoying the content so far, please consider subscribing. Once that was complete, we had to move the sink to the new wall, and in order to do that, we had to jackhammer out the concrete subfloor to move the drain. So that took a lot of work, but we were able to get it done.
We tore out all of this here, and now this is the kitchen. So we have lighting up there, filled in this space, and then this is what I'm still debating on, is the corner here. Put a wine cooler there. Laid it out. Put insulation all along this wall. We got an island where we moved the plumbing back to here. Hot and cold and vent running there. And then a refrigerator line running there, and then this will become the new closet. And there's that all up there.
With the wall fully framed now, I'm able to add some insulation to the hot and cold line since this is an exterior wall, and then I can start putting in the new insulation and vapor barrier. And leave a comment down below if you enjoy watching these kind of DIY videos for the pure satisfaction of them, or if you're here to learn to do your own DIY projects. With that complete, we put up new drywall, and then it was on to installing the new cabinets. And I hired a professional to do this since this was a pretty tricky job with a very uneven subfloor to work with. But it's going really well, and now let's install some electrical outlets.
Alright, so the first thing you do is you take out these wire nuts, make sure the power's off. Then use a pair of wire strippers to strip out about, 3/4 of an inch of copper. There's one. There's two. Now, this is a 20 amp outlet because it's in the kitchen, non-GFCI because it's just for a refrigerator. And now you have brass screws and silver screws and one green screw. This is for ground, silver is for neutral, and the brass is for the hot line or the power. So in this case, we have a white, which is the neutral, and a colored line. Sometimes this is black, sometimes red. In this case, it's orange. This is your power line. So now you want to take your power line and attach it to the brass screw, and then secure it with the screwdriver, and then do the same for the neutral. Okay, now that that's screwed in, you can screw it in to the junction box. And then to finish the job, you can put on a wall plate cover. And there you go, got an outlet installed. today is June 29th. I'm not losing my mind. It's June 29th. The cabinets, other than the island, have all gone in and been adjusted. Crown molding is up. New handles are in. Right now I'm installing some outlets, one for the microwave, one for the fridge, and one for the mini fridge right there behind you. Because it's 1 o'clock now and shortly ABT will be here with all the appliances, including the washer and the dryer. Those will all be installed today except the dishwasher and the hood above the stove. They need like special installers for those, plus the dishwasher should be mounted at the top of the counters. So that way for the countertop to be installed, but everything else will go in today. Hopefully it goes well. But I'm just installing a couple of outlets so we can plug things in. Next steps for me is I'm going to start installing the GFCI outlets along the countertop here. And I got a guy coming tomorrow to move the plumbing for the sink so I can make sure the sink can go in fully. And yeah, things are going well. I just laid this floor yesterday with my dad. It looks really good with the cabinets and I'm pretty happy with it. Just have a few pieces left, but basically less than an hour of work. But yeah, everything's going pretty well. Island will be coming on Thursday. Today's Monday, so a few more days. So we're here, and this is going to be power, so I can have an outlet in the island. Probably put in like a USB charger too, just so easy access for charging phones and whatnot. But yeah, I'll give you an update once all the appliances are in. Hopefully it'll look a little different. Yeah, just cranking it out. I'll see you next time. Bye.
Hey guys, so I just wired up all the GFCI outlets in the kitchen behind me, and I almost freaked out for a second, but let me show you real quick. So here's what it looks like, and there should be a green light right here to show that it's working, and I just fixed this one. However, I have a bunch more. So this one doesn't have a light. I'm like, oh crap, it didn't wire correctly. However, there's a reset button right here, which you have to press in order for it to start. Boom, green light. Hopefully the rest are green. Green. Didn't press hard enough. Green. Last one. Green. Sweet. That was actually pretty tough because what happened was a couple of them, like one of the wires was shot on this one right here, and so I had to cut it and then use a moret to splice it back together. And then also a lot of these weren't just like wires coming straight out like this, but they were loops, so you have to cut like the loop and then loop it around so it's like one continuous wire. But it looks like all of them are working, so job done. Very successful. I also wired up the outlet right there for the microwave, the fridge over there, and there's the mini fridge outlet over there. And I put covers on those three because those ones are obviously going to be installed today and you'll never see them again. These ones on the countertop are not having the trim on the outside yet because I'm going to be putting up a backsplash, so the trim would obviously, you put the backsplash on and then the trim. So I'm just going to leave them like this so they're functional for now, and then I'll put the backsplash on in the meantime and then put the trim on after the backsplash. And then right there, I need to put, there's two switches that's on an outlet. One of those is for the under cabinet lighting and the other switch is for the garbage disposal. So I haven't wired those up. Or, I mean, they're wired, I haven't put the switches on. Oh, and I guess I did forget one little thing. I need to put an outlet up there for the hood. However, that's not being installed today, so it doesn't really matter. So yeah, thanks for tuning in. See you next time.
The appliances finally arrived and were installed, and everything went relatively smoothly. And after many delays, the island was finally installed, and then it was on to deciding on countertops. And I ended up going with a quartz that was white with some gray veining, and I went specifically to the supplier to lay out my exact dimensions and patterns that I wanted to make sure I got the right veins in the right spots. The installation went really smoothly and it looks fantastic, and it's a man-made product with repetitive patterns, so that's why I took careful time and consideration with where everything was placed. I got the faucet installed and things were really going smoothly. So now let's take a look back at the process. So here's where we started. Definitely a lot of improvements to make. So we demoed the kitchen, removed the old studded wall, added a new framed wall, demoed the floor to move the sink, patched the floor and included an electrical wire, laid out the new kitchen design, added some new insulation, added a new vapor barrier, put up new drywall, installed the new cabinets. And this process took a couple days, but then I was able to put the new floor in, and then the new appliances came, and then the island finally arrived, and the thing's really coming together now. And I put some new countertops in, added some upper and under cabinet lighting and a backsplash, which will be in future videos. And then we have the final result. Looks great. Very happy and very pleased with how this turned out. And as always, thanks for watching and happy building.